Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Of course, this past weekend with Call of Duty Next, we learned a lot about MW2, even a little bit about DMZ, and of course, plenty of Warzone 2 information was revealed as well. But recently, Call of Duty put out a new blog going even more in depth on Warzone 2 information. So today, that is exactly what we are looking at and breaking down Call of Duty Next, Call of Duty Warzone 2, an all new Call of Duty Warzone for an era of Call of Duty continues November 16th. They found a way to put Call of Duty 4 times in the title. Honestly impressive if I do say so myself, but there's a lot of really interesting information in this blog, like I said, that is more detailed than just what we learned at the Call of Duty Next reveal event. So it goes a little bit in depth into the brand new map Al Mazrah, and of course we've already gone through and broken down all the points of interest and everything we already know about the map so far based on the reveals, so we don't need to focus too much on that, but it is a brand new play space and honestly one that I think looks really cool. Definitely different from our previous versions of all the maps. Now, this is a true extension of the MW2 universe. Expect Warzone 2.0 to extend the Modern Warfare 2 universe and fully leverage the most advanced tech shared for the first time across COD to deliver a seamless battle royale experience. This is a Call of Duty technology built for next gen. Keep in mind, it's going to be available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, but next gen is where they are primarily focused. This offered a shared experience in systems with key learnings from MW 2019 and community feedback. So initial intel, swimming and aquatic combat. This is a brand new thing to Warzone in general that is going to really change up core gameplay. Now, of course, as we've seen throughout the Warzone 2 gameplay so far and the reveals, it's very different from Warzone as we know it now. The water mechanics, though, in the water, combat is so different from what we know in Warzone now, where obviously water is one of the most deadly things on the map, right? Instead now, you can use water-based vehicles. So there's gonna be different versions of boats that you can actually use to rotate throughout the map. Through the center of the map, there are various rivers that you can use to navigate the areas. You can also, of course, swim in the water. You can dive in it. You can wade in it. You can engage underneath, where velocity is completely different. You are limited in the weapons you can shoot. Melees still work. Sometimes pistols work, but primaries, you're not going to be able to use underwater. It's definitely something that can be used for serious flank routes and to your advantage to really surprise enemies. It's also something that can be your absolute demise because you get caught in the water. Somebody up on the rocks, for instance, in this image, if they're up here and you're down there and you have to swim across, I mean, that's basically a guaranteed trip to the Gulag there, so it's going to have a huge impact on Warzone gameplay here. The vehicles are also brand new for Warzone 2, and there's a million new mechanics for this as well. While you can drive them and still do that like back in previous Warzone iterations, now you have fuel you have to manage. You have vehicle damage you have to manage. You can go through and refuel and repair at gas stations, but you have to be mindful of that. You can't just infinitely drive into the horizon with no repercussions. You can also now lean out of the vehicle windows and shoot and engage enemies there. You can jump on top of vehicles and ride on the roof like we see here in this image. You can also jump from one vehicle to another if that opportunity were to ever present itself. We got things like the tactical vehicle, the UTV, the light tank, the heavy chopper, the inflatable boat. That's just a couple of the vehicles that have been confirmed so far. As mentioned, though, you have to repair and refuel when you are using a vehicle, maybe outside of boats. I don't know if you can refuel those, but for land vehicles, you'd have to go through and actually enter a gas station to continue driving if you want to actually hold on to that the entire game. So definitely something that you're going to have to be mindful of now. Now, here, in my opinion, is the most important part of this entire blog, the shop. The way that this is working as of right now, keep in mind, this is still Alpha Warzone 2. A lot of things could change before launch on November 16th, but this stuff, by far the most important, in my opinion, out of the entire blog. And by the way, as we're going through this, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1 million. Around 52% of viewers watching aren't subscribed yet. And if you want to guarantee you are always up to date with everything going on in COD, this is the place to be. Also, right now, all weekend long, my G Fuel discount code WhosImmortal is boosted to get you 30% off your entire order. So feel free to grab something there. Stock up in time for the PC and crossplay beta with Xbox and PlayStation next weekend. Great time to do so. Link will be down below. But as well as a new and impressive array of ground loot and adjustments on how to access and store them, aka the backpack system, one of the biggest innovations is the shop. These enhanced buy stations serve locations to buy and upgrade equipment and weapons, including the custom weapons, aka your loadouts. And here's basically what the shop contains. Squadmate buyback. Just like in Warzone, you can go into the shop and you can buy back a teammate if they don't win their Gulag or if they end up getting taken out at any stage during the game. You can buy gear just like the current buy stations in Warzone. So gas masks, armor, streaks, all sorts of stuff like that. There's also limited equipment you can buy from the stations. They are limited in number. Once purchased, they are gone from the shop. Now, I don't know if this is user specific or if one person hits the buy station before you, they buy, let's say, a shock charge, and then you roll up to the buy station and it's out of shock charges. We're gonna have to play around more with the game to really figure that one out, but there is limited equipment. Weapons, obviously this is what players are gonna be the most interested in. Prior to the match, your main preparation is focused on creating a certain number of weapons. Those are your created class slots, right? Obviously, your loadouts, but it's different this time around. You can purchase your custom weapons from the buy station. Now, keep in mind this could change over time based on community feedback. I know a lot of players not super happy with the fact that loadouts aren't a direct thing like they are in Warzone now, me included with that. But if you want your custom weapons, you have to go to a buy station, and they take the place of a full loadout, your primary, your secondary, your tactical, and your lethal, as well as perks. Then you have to end up building and upgrading your weapon that you buy. So let's say you want to buy, an M4 to throw on your loadout on there, you have to upgrade it to actually get all those attachments. Custom weapons are constructed in the gunsmith and then bought here. They take up your weapon slots. Tacticals and lethals are very common ground loot. Perks are not going to be available in Warzone 2 at launch. So we're not going to have Ghost, Double Time, Sleight of Hand, all the stuff like that. Last Stand, for instance, is a tier 3 or tier 4 perk, whatever you want to refer to that as, that you earn over time in multiplayer. They're not going to exist in Warzone 2 at launch. It is just raw gunplay, and that's what you focus on in a buy station. So very interesting change to the Warzone gameplay dynamic there. You don't have to worry about perks, but you also don't get the benefit of them at the same time. Now, the circle collapse, another pretty significant change. Rather than one continuous circle, you've got 3 different zones after a few stages. So it initially splits into 3 big zones, and the collapse and the sandstorm will happen around those. Then those zones shrink, and then ultimately those zones come together and they meet up to form one final circle. So gameplay is cut off and limited in certain areas towards endgame, which is very unique. Based on the gameplay that we got throughout Call of Duty Next, it creates for some very chaotic endgames, especially as they're moving to converge with one another in that final single safe zone. Then also the Gulag changes here. It's 2v2 now. I'm not gonna lie, not a huge fan of this. It relies too much on you having a good squad mate, and you don't get to always go into a Gulag with your party. It could be a random stranger that's also in the lobby, and apparently there's also bots sometimes too. Not really a huge fan of this Gulag, and it is drastically different from what we know now. You also have to pick up loot in this. You have to go and find a shotgun, a rifle, a nade, rather than getting presented where it's an equal playing field for everyone. So big changes there, and I'm not super huge on those. The strongholds, of course, where the enemy AI are located, you can go in and infiltrate these. You'll end up getting some specific upgrades, like for instance, your loadout weapons. You can end up getting those for free if you end up completing a stronghold, but it is related primarily with the AI that's on the map. They can be found elsewhere, but most of the time you're going to find them in the largest quantity within the strongholds, and those are found in various locations around the map. Then they also round things out by talking about DMZ. This is connected to Warzone 2, so it'll be dropping with Warzone 2 as a free-to-play mode on November 16th. Very exciting, and we should get more information on DMZ in the future. Also, Ricochet is going to be live. Ricochet 2.0 basically is live with Warzone on day 1, so we should see some significant updates for that. But Warzone 2 gameplay, very, very different from what we know now. Obviously, over time, we're going to continue to learn more, and because it is still in alpha, we can expect a lot of changes from where we saw it this weekend to launch on November 16th. And as those changes are revealed, you guys already know we're going to be covering them here on the channel, so stick it here for that, alongside everything else going on in the world of Call of Duty. I got you covered on a daily basis. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.